Hello, my name is Nico Zwirs and welcome to this new Frits trainer. It's the reversed Sicilian, so we're going to take a look at c4 e5, and then after like almost all the options which there are for white, so d3, e3, g3, knight c3 and a3. Well, the idea about this video is not that you're going to get a complete repertoire, but mainly that if you're playing Sicilian with black, and you also would like to do something new from the white side, that you can start with c4 and that after e5 you have a repertoire and you can basically pick ideas about where I'm going to discuss about which is fitting your Sicilian. So for example, in my case, I'm mainly playing the Najdorf, and if not, very often also Sicilians with d6. So I'm going to take, so for me, a move like d3 makes a lot of sense. Also a3, by the way, which I played in actually quite a lot of games, which also still has the option to enter the Najdorf. So that makes sense, but let's say you're playing the for knight Sicilian, then maybe knight c3 and knight f3 and then going for e3 makes more sense. So what I'm going to do is to go through all those options and second moves, and in it discuss like which options there are out for black. Because if you play the Sicilian, so let's pick out the normal Sicilian, white has a couple of options. One is to go for knight f3 for the open Sicilian. In some cases, so after d6 and knight c6, there is the move bishop b5, the Rossolimo, or the Moscow variation, which it is called after d6. That's an option. There is the closed Sicilian or even the Grand Prix with f4, and there is the Alapin variation. So mainly against those options, so knight f3, open Sicilian, Rossolimo option, closed Sicilian, and Alapin option, we're going to check all those moves and ideas, and I'm going to share my insights, which options are serious and which options aren't. Just to give you an example, for example, after d3, the move c6, the Alapin, is not really a good one because white can play knight f3. In the Alapin, normally the pawn would be reversed on d7, so black is able to push this pawn, but in this case the pawn can't be pushed, it's under attack, and black has to play in some kind of a passive way and play, for example, d6 at some point, and this doesn't really fit the Alapin option. Doesn't mean that the Alapin setup from black is a bad one. For example, after the move to g3, I think that the Alapin is a very serious option and definitely can be played. So that's the setup and how we're going to start with this chess-based Frits trainer. Then I also have some model games just to illustrate some of the ideas and how you're going to play certain positions. And maybe in the end we are also taking a look at alternatives. Like, let's say you would dare to play c4 because you're a Sicilian player and you get e5. What happens? Is there some kind of an autopilot what you can do if black suddenly plays e6 and goes for some Nimzo type of idea or Queen's Gambit declined type of setup, and you're not prepared for that? And there is something where you can always go into, and that's the final chapter where we're going to take a look at just the alternatives, how to get a game and at least not get worse against other openings. Yeah, so as I said, I think this is nice if you would like to play the reverse Sicilian. It can also be a nice one to check in case you're already playing 1c4, e5 and you just want to see some new and fresh ideas. Okay, let's dive into it. And we're going to start with c4, e5, d3. So see you there in the next video.